Good evening. This is an express report and short video from Marcelo Palermo for Epic News. As terrible things keep on happening in our world, it's not gonna be the last, not the first time. We're gonna keep on reminding who we are and where we're going. COVID-19 is hitting us really hard, not because the numbers are reaching the fullest potential, but because they can. And we have to avoid exactly that. We have to try to not let, and we're gonna keep on trying not to let COVID-19 hitting the highest numbers it could hit. It will be very interesting if we project here in the United States of America the idea of not letting COVID-19 hit the 200,000 cases, which is something that we are unfortunately fastly approaching. Although in places such as New York, we are already at phase 3 of reopening. And as if I remember correctly, as fast as I know, phase 3 was meant to be a phase in which most of the businesses will operate at 75%. Well, we will see if that is the case and it lasts. Hopefully, it's going to go all the way to let us adapt to the new reality in a fast and effective way. And of course, with a very hot summer here in the southwest of Texas, the United States of America, we are experiencing temperatures of around 105, 107, 108. Technically, they used to tell us that COVID-19 will not recede. That is the correct term, not that it will disappear. Or to say, we have to put it this way, that will not resist high temperatures, but so far, the virus is still active, and as many experts are saying, we need to keep on moving forward in order to adapt to our new reality, to understand how to live with this virus, and of course, how to understand the lessons of history. Recently, there was a report about cases of black plague in certain parts in the in the Far Eastern world. So we're not going to re-mention the cases of the place because they're still actually going through it. But something that as humans we know how to control. The only thing is that we need to act in the same way upon facing COVID-19 and project the ways to control it, especially when it comes down to know that probably by late September, as new reports say now, or indicates now, or by late December or early January, we might have the vaccine. Just think about the old times, just a day ago I was reading about King Sargon, the first king of the known human world, at least reported, and that was the king of Mesopotamia, King Sargon, like around 3,000 years ago. The first properly organized king. It says that there were more kings around 4,000 years ago. Not only 4,000 years ago, but even a little bit before that, perhaps more like 1,000 years before that. We are keeping on discovering things now and learning things about human behavior, how it was before, how it kept on being, and by the way, how it should keep on being. Remember, when people tell you that we're still here in the American continent, all of our countries, we have young republics for the United States of America. The revolution for independence started in 1776, while in the rest of the continent, with the exception of some countries, such as the case of Haiti, which independence was gained in between 1804 and 1805 and 1806. That's an interesting case. One of the poorest nations in the world actually was the first Latin nation to gain its independence. But most of the other wars for emancipation and independence, all the way from Argentina to Mexico, started around the year 1810, 1810. That is 1810, a year of the American revolutions, molded, many of them modeled after the Great American Revolution from the Continental Army, Washington and Company back in 1776. Well, they say that most of our republics are young republics, and they're right. But if you think about the construction and the re-elaboration and reconstruction and restructuring of some European countries, just think about the States. England, as a country, as the United Kingdom, the way it went through, was actually starting to get its structure, its modern structure, after 1707. Just think about that. Spain, if you think about what happened with Franco, a dictatorial time, they actually reconstructed and restructured and relaunched the constitution in 1978. Although the strength of the Spanish Empire as such started right when they actually expelled the last of the Muslim forces or Islamic forces from the Iberian Peninsula in 1492. In the case of Germany or Italy, they became countries in the 1800s, right after the countries, organized the way we know it today. We know them today with the delimitations and everything, with the geographical limits and political structures. In around 1860s and 1870s. As a matter of fact, Italy was in 1868, and Germany was around 1870, if I'm not wrong, or 71. I might be a little bit off, not too off, but a little bit off with the exact dates. But if you think about it, back then we already had Argentina, the United States of America, we had Chile, we had Peru, we had many countries, most of Mexico, of course. Most of the countries in the American continent were already structured. Of course, they went through different periods of upheavals, civil wars, some of them, and kind of very interestingly destructive conflicts that, like such as the case with the United States of America, in between 1861 and 1865, they had the Civil War in order to go and emancipate the slaves, to end slavery, which was the right thing to do. Justice was served when slavery was actually abolished. But that war threatened to destroy the republic. The secessionist states in the South wanted, the Confederate States wanted to actually form a different new republic, which will keep the economic and financial system based upon, structured upon slavery, the hideous enterprise of slavery. Another thing that in another podcast we will address more in detail, so you will understand more about slavery and how ignorance actually, as in many cases, plays a main part in the construction and the structure of the hideous enterprise of slavery. Well, everyone, for Epic News, this is kind of an express report. My name is Marcelo Palermo. Remember, we are information, news, history, anthropology, and more. And we try to entertain you the best way we can in a smart, intelligent way. Thank you very much, and stay there because we will always be here. You have a great day.